Nanako Agatsuma saw something. "He absorbed all your attacks." She pointed to the ground in front of Zhang Yi. "Look, the coins disappeared. In other words, they were absorbed somewhere else. This guy is a space-based ability user." Zhang Yi would not wait for them to finish speaking before taking action. After Takashi Takizawa's round of attack was over, he also took action. Very abruptly, Zhang Yi took a step forward, and the whole person disappeared directly in mid-air. When he appeared again, he came behind Takashi, Takizawa, and Nanako Agatsuma. He opened his right palm, aimed at the duo, and opened his own dimensional door. The whistling lightning was like 100 silver snakes shooting towards the backs of the two. Nanako Agatsuma's ability is Kamaitachi. She is very sensitive to air fluctuations. The moment she sensed the danger, she didn't have time to remind her man and disappeared from the spot. But Takizawa Takashi didn't have this good speed. A series of super electromagnetic cannons attacked from his back, and he didn't even have time to turn around before his body was beaten into a sieve. The power of the super electromagnetic cannon was indeed strong. When it penetrated his body, it was like a hot knife sinking into butter. A good person was beaten to pieces and riddled with holes within 0.01 seconds, just like a broken hornet's nest. Takizawa Takashi, a member of the Eclipse team, was killed instantly by Zhang Yi. Such a scene stunned Chen Xiaoxiao and Peng Li at the scene. The members of the Eclipse team, who were extremely terrified in their hearts, couldn't even take a single move from Zhang Yi. So Zhang Yi was so strong? The two stared at Zhang Yi blankly, their jaws dropped in surprise. At this time, their brains were in a state of downtime, and they even lost the ability to think. But Liang Yue and Flower looked as if they were used to it. Nanako Agatsuma was very fast, and she escaped the range of Zhang Yi's attack. When she saw her man being killed, she angrily shouted in a shrill voice, "Your Excellency!" She originally thought it was just a simple hunt, but she didn't expect that she would lose her husband's life. Nanako Agatsuma's heart was broken. But she was worthy of being a ruthless person in the Eclipse group. She looked at Zhang Yi with hatred. The next moment, her body disappeared from the spot, and the whole figure was blurred and invisible. A turbulent storm suddenly rolled up around Zhang Yi. Nanako Agatsuma's figure was in this storm. A strange music came from all directions. Unfortunately, Zhang Yi couldn't hear anything. The two-world severance is a perfect barrier. It can be said that there is a barrier of another world between him and the real world at this time. So all sounds were isolated, and all the attacks contained in the melody of the shakuhachi were also absorbed by the other dimensional space. Zhang Yi took out two large silver pistols with violet patterns, slowly raised them, and aimed at the nothingness in front of him. Nanako Agatsuma's speed was very fast, and ordinary people could not catch it with the naked eye. Zhang Yi's body also underwent some changes. He was shaking slightly at a strange speed, 20 times faster. Bang! The sound of a barely perceptible gunshot rang out. The next moment, Nanako Agatsuma's body was thrown out of the wind barrier and thrown to the ground like a broken sack. Zhang Yi looked at Nanako Agatsuma, who was pierced on the ground, indifferently. He did not save bullets and shot her chest twice more, making sure to hit her heart, and then shot her neck. The power of the White Owl was very huge. Especially under the blessing of Zhang Yi's supernatural power, it directly broke her neck, and her head rolled out. Only then did Zhang Yi feel completely relieved. In the stunned eyes of Chen Xiaoxiao and Peng Li, Zhang Yi walked over and put the bodies of the two people into the mutant space. This is a battlefield. Zhang Yi is not in a hurry to absorb their supernatural powers anyway. Absorbing them will not improve his strength much. After seeing Zhang Yi kill two members of Eclipse Moon, the staff member who was monitoring his movements turned around and reported to Zhu Zheng. With some surprise, "Commander, Zhang Yi is in trouble." Zhu Zheng looked down at the staff member. He sighed and asked calmly, "Did Zhang Yi and his men die in the battle?" After all, this was the first time in this battle that a member of the Eclipse Moon was killed. The staff took a deep breath and said, "The battle ended too quickly. Zhang Yi killed them all in less than 30 seconds. Only Baili Changqing looked at Zhang Yi in the picture with a smile in his eyes. You guys, you always create surprises for people. Oh, it's better to say that it's because you are too stable, so you always act like you are not powerful." At this moment, multiple alarms suddenly sounded in the combat command center. "Commander-in-Chief, the situation on the northern front is not good. There are also problems on the western front. Liao Honglei is in trouble." Zhu Zheng's pupils shrank suddenly. How could this happen? Where is Deng Shentong? Tu Yunli said, "He went out alone to directly destroy the opponent's main formation. I think there is nothing wrong with doing this. If the opponent's team leader is killed, Eclipse Moon will become a mess." Zhu Zheng's face was gloomy. "Even if the mission is completed, if the Tianshen team suffers too much loss, we cannot accept it. Unfortunately, the Black Robe team suffered heavy losses in the last battle of Tianhai City and has not yet recovered. The other 4 investigation teams are all performing tasks outside and have not returned yet. The Tianshen team has to take over." When Zhu Zheng thought of this, his eyes suddenly looked at Zhang Yi in the picture. Zhu Zheng's eyes suddenly lit up. "Isn't this the best helper?" Zhu Zheng immediately contacted Zhang Yi and gave him instructions. "Zhang Yi, don't retreat for now. Go to the nearest northern front to provide support immediately. Others can come back first." Zhang Yi said calmly, "Okay." In the communication channel, he knew that the battle situation on the other 2 fronts was not ideal. Now that the main force of the Tianshen team has been dispatched, it is reasonable for him to go and help. How should I put it? He will not take the initiative to ask for a fight, but if there is an arrangement from above, he will do it, as long as it is not a too dangerous task. It is a relatively lying state. Anyway, with his ability, he can go alone. If they go, there will be no problem in saving their lives. So, Zhang Yi said to Liang Yue, "Take them back first. I'm going to the rear front." Liang Yue knew that after Zhang Yi exposed his strength, he was targeted by the senior people. There is no way. The more capable people do more work. This phenomenon is too common. Even in the company, the leaders always like to grab capable employees and let them do more work. "Do you want me to go with you? They should be able to leave by themselves." Liang Yue said. Zhang Yi shook his head. "Your current strength is not enough. Liang Yue's personal combat quality is very high, but in terms of supernatural power level, she is far behind. Although she is a Delta-level mutant, she has absorbed too little mutant essence. She can still fight against ordinary leaders of forces. But compared with the vicious thugs like Eclipse Moon, it's hard to say." Zhang Yi thinks that he may have to think of some ways to help her improve her strength as soon as possible in the future. In this way, she can become his right-hand man. At least, she can give some help when Zhang Yi fights. Liang Yue was a little unhappy with Zhang Yi's attitude and her lips curled up. As a master of Chinese martial arts, what she couldn't accept the most was that others said she was weak. Zhang Yi couldn't help but laugh when he saw this. Even Liang Yue, who seemed indifferent at ordinary times, had this lovely side. "Okay, now is not the time to play around. Be obedient, okay?" This gentle tone made Liang Yue blush. "I'll listen to you." She pretended to be indifferent, but secretly clenched her fists. Zhang Yi left the others and walked towards the western front marked on the nebula. Liang Yue looked at his back and had no choice but to walk over and take Flower, Chen Xiaoxiao, and Peng Li back to the armed helicopter to wait. When Takizawa Takashi and Agatsuma Nanako died, the person in charge of communication, Shishimonoba Satoru, felt it. He looked up in surprise, his eyes surging with disbelief. Seeing him like this, Feng Wangyuan asked, "Shishimono, what happened?" Shishimonoba Satoru looked up at Feng Wangyuan and murmured, "Takizawa and his wife died in the battle." Feng Wangyuan's pupils shrank suddenly. Even Takeuchi Mayumi, who had been kneeling on the ground and fortune-telling for everyone, screamed, "Impossible! This is absolutely impossible!" She lay on the ground, holding the Takeuchi scroll tightly with both hands. The scroll that was materialized by the supernatural power was twisted into a little deformation by her. Her eyes were blank, and she said in panic, "My fortune-telling can't go wrong. Today, the fortunes of both of them are good. How? Could something go wrong?" Shishimonoba Satoru said, "It may be because of the strange person who appeared on Nobunaga's side." This sentence reminded Feng Huangyuan and Takeuchi Mayumi. Long ago, a strange person appeared there, causing problems with Mayumi Takeuchi's divination. Feng Huangyuan Ren said coldly, "Could it be that someone can block Mayumi's divination?" Shishimonoba Satoru calmed down, and he carefully analyzed. "Takizawa and my wife both died in that place. In other words, can the existence of that person distort Miss Takeuchi's divination? Doesn't that mean it's a distortion of the law of cause and effect? Mayumi Takeuchi's ability, Takeuchi Picture Scroll, can predict and divination people to determine good and bad luck. Since the establishment of the Eclipse Group, her predictions have never been wrong. This ability to predict the future is also called a causal weapon. It can be said that its existence is one of the biggest trump cards of the Eclipse Group. And now, the prediction of Takeuchi Picture Scroll has actually deviated." Feng Huangyuan Ren and Shishimonoba Satoru both understood that it was not that Mayumi Takeuchi's prediction failed. Instead, someone distorted the results of her prediction. Mayumi Takeuchi covered her head and said painfully, "There is someone who is beyond fate. I can't see his future, let alone predict everything about him." Feng Huangyuan Ren walked to her side, slowly hugged her, smiled, and comforted her softly. "It's okay, Mayumi. You've done a great job. As for that guy, just kill him, and I will definitely kill him for you." Mayumi Takeuchi slowly raised her head and looked at Feng Huangyuan Ren with weak and worried eyes. "But if that happens, some of our companions may die. Because my predictions about them are invalid, I can't see their future clearly." Feng Huangyuan Ren smiled. "This is a war. No matter what kind of accidents happen, it is our own choice. And so far, the direction of things is still under our control." He stroked Mayumi Takeuchi's head. "Sometimes, you don't have to put such a big burden on yourself. I'm still here." In the past, they did rely too much on Mayumi Takeuchi's ability, but before they got Mayumi Takeuchi, they were also extremely powerful mutants. "If you can't see through fate, just kill them." A stern fighting spirit burst out from the eyes of Feng Huangyuan Jin. Perhaps the journey was too smooth, so that he was a little bored. But this time, the situation finally developed differently. "This is exciting, isn't it?" Mayumi Takeuchi suddenly thought of something, and she hurriedly said to Shishimonoba Satoru, "Call Hanachio back." Because today's prophecy book said that Naruse Hanachio's fortune was bad. That's why Feng Huangyuan Jin didn't send her out to perform the mission, but stayed in the vicinity of the main camp to be responsible for vigilance. According to common sense, if the enemy does not break through the outer team members, it is impossible to kill to the vicinity of the main camp. Shishimonoba Satoru closed his eyes and was about to contact Naruse Hanachio. But at this time, a cold and lazy voice came from not far away. "Are you looking for her?" The sudden voice startled the three people of Eclipse. He was holding a half-dead woman in his right hand, which made people feel a little sad. It was none other than Deng Shentong, captain of the God Team.